And Trafford Schools won an award after pupils produced a video telling the story of how orca whales are caught and looked after in captivity. 9 and 10-year-olds at Davy Hume Primary School started researching how the killer whales are tracked down and trained after one of them returned from a holiday having seen an orca perform at a marine show. The ethical charity PETA says the pupils have raised awareness about the cramped conditions the animals live and die in. Teacher Lee Parkinson says the whole class learnt from the project.
It's not necessarily the topic that we're looking at, but what we can, the skills that we can embed throughout that topic. So we've picked up on something that probably we didn't have in the curriculum as something to teach, but you know, the skills that we've been able to develop and the way that the children have shown their understanding through different tasks, you know, has been really sort of creative and interesting.
A casual conversation about the thrill of seeing orca whales performing in a sea life centre is ending up with pupils at a Trafford Primary School winning a special award from an animal protection charity for the way they portrayed the story of how the killer whales are caught and held in captivity. Davy Hume Primary School starred in their own video, highlighting the cramped conditions, the underfeeding they say is forced on the orca whales, who are then expected to perform tricks for the public several times a day. An ethical charity has now praised the whole class for their work. BBC Radio Manchester's Jacqueline Payne reports.
Would it be okay for me to be taken away from my family and shipped across the world at the age of 4? Would it be okay for me to spend the rest of my life in a room where nowhere to go?
The video is called Would You Let It Happen to Me? And in it, these Year 5 pupils at Davy Hume Primary School tell the story of what they say really happens to orca whales or blackfish in captivity.
Would it be okay if they could bully up and beat me if I had nowhere to go?
The inspiration behind it began in September, after one of the pupils began telling the class about a summer holiday trip and the thrill of seeing orca whales performing at a sea life centre. Their teacher Lee Parkinson says by chance he'd also been watching a documentary about the dangers of keeping such creatures in captivity.
I started off by actually showing them a performance from SeaWorld, which got them all very, very excited, which I thought wasn't the right thing to do. But then we watched another short sort of film from YouTube about a killer whale called Morgan, and that just sort of shows the other side to what we don't see in the performances and, you know, the harmful effects of captivity on orca whales. And from that's what really sort of engaged the children.
Lee Parkinson says once children started to hear his story of how the orca whales or blackfish were caught and held in captivity, they wanted to tell others.
Suddenly they felt the need to get this message across that it wasn't right that orca whales were kept in captivity. From just talking about the film that we had, I realised that this was something that we could take a little bit further.
Would you be happy to pay money to see me live and perform like this?
The video took just one afternoon to make, but within days of it being posted online, it had been viewed 1,000 times, and it had messages from animal charities, and none other than the director of the documentary Lee Parkinson had watched over the summer. They were all praising the clear and simple message in the video.
My name is Emily and I'm 10 years old. We learnt about how whales feel like being in captivity, how they get treated, and it was quite shocking the way they caught them and the way they taught them. We learned about how they would get fed in the wild compared to what they would get fed in captivity.
My name's Ethan, I'm 9 years old. They get fed frozen fish. I mean, these whales, they love it, finding their own food and having the fun capturing it, really. They bite the walls and it causes like dental and stomach problems, like all the gates and all that, because really they're bored and they don't get fed until they do tricks properly.
Now the charity PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, has handed Lee Parkinson a Compassionate Teacher Award, the only one given out so far this year, rewarding him and his class for their hard work in raising awareness about how orcas suffer in captivity. Lee says the benefits from this special project are continuing.
For some, it's definitely given them a reason to come into school and sort of look forward to learning, knowing that they're making a difference. I mean, when they're getting messages from, these experts in that field saying that they're the class that are giving whales a voice, and, that's incredibly inspiring, knowing that from their learning they're now making a difference.
It's not all one way, of course. We asked SeaWorld about the claims that orca whales are kept in cramped conditions, forced to perform to audiences in return for food. This is what they said.
The welfare of SeaWorld Park's animals is enshrined in federal and state law. Our mission is to inspire guests through education and up-close experiences to care for and protect marine animals. We take our responsibility to care for those remarkable animals very seriously, including both those in our care and their wild counterparts. Our goal is to successfully rehabilitate animals for return to the wild. The small percentage of animals whose injuries are too debilitating to permit release are given lifelong care.